Welcome to the Coffee Talk Podcast. This is intended for informational purposes only and not to be used as a primary basis for investment decisions. Consult your financial professional before making investment decisions. Shannon Ross is a registered representative and MBA of Lighthouse Financial. Lighthouse Financial offers securities and advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisories Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. Shannon is CEO and managing financial partner of Lighthouse Financial. Cambridge and Lighthouse Financial are not affiliated. And now, here's your host, Shannon Ross.
Well, Happy New Year, everyone.
We
should have brought sound machine today of like the, we can do the bell. Happy New Year. Welcome back, everybody, to 2022.
Yep.
We're here back in the studio, back from the holidays.
We are.
If it's a Thursday, but kind of feels like a Monday. The kids just went back to school this morning.
That's
so,
true.
After a couple weeks of just not having to get up early, that 5:30 wake up call came early
quick
this morning.
I'm still on vacation this week.
You are. She's still off.
So
for the
I'm
next
okay.
Couple days, so
yeah.
I do still make her come in for this, though.
Well, this is fun. This isn't. When have I ever been like, no?
I know.
I don't want to.
I know. Well, Happy New Year,
Happy New
everybody.
Year. Yeah.
I hope you all had a great holiday.
Yep.
Good Christmas and New Year's and all the things.
I'm sure.
It was good. As per our last show, I did not get my way. We did not go to Texas. We did not travel anywhere. I don't do staycations very well because I don't sit very well without anything out of the ordinary to do.
Right.
So the first week I didn't know what to do with myself. Like I kept looking for projects, and so I did some of those. But then I was like, "Wait, you're on vacation!" And so the second week, I was able to kind of dial it down, and we still had fun with the kiddos. It was real low key, so it's probably good because I don't handle low key very well. So it was a good discipline in that.
Okay.
Because I need to, So it was good. How about you? You were a traveling.
I was all over the place.
You were a traveling band.
I went to Texas.
Yep.
Not for very long, but weather was hot and humid, just like you like
it.
And
so
just
sad.
like I hate it. But got to see my mom and dad, and I haven't stayed in my house. I mean, I grew up in that house because of COVID, right? So, super excited. They'd done a lot of renovations work, so it was cool to see and hang out with my mommy and daddy. I love them.
They're probably one of our most loyal listeners.
They are.
So, Bobby, Marilyn, thank you.
Yes, thanks, Mom and Dad. And then we went to Alabama. Love my in-laws like crazy.
And you drove all the way.
Drove all the way.
There and back.
No flying for us. Just wanted to be careful with COVID and our parents and all of that, and stayed there. Even more hot and even more humid. And so it was good. My sister-in-law and her kids were there.
Nice.
I love spending time with my sister-in-law.
It's so fun to see family again. Because
last
year everyone was
that.
Yeah.
And my sister-in-law and I really get along well. We got to work out together every day, which
fun.
I don't ever have anybody to work out with.
What kind of gym does Butler, Alabama have?
Hey, now listen. It's called 360. If you're in Butler, Alabama. Look it up.
What's the population of Butler? Like
Libby.
300
Her name is Libby. She's the owner. Lee and I posted like a hashtag and did a picture in the mirror for them. And I hate taking pictures, but for Libby.
Do they have a Facebook page?
Yeah.
Nice.
And she has an Instagram. And so, I hate pictures. So we did the whole like in the mirror thing with, but for Libby, who
I need a copy of that.
Oh, I'll show it to you. But Libby, it's one of those gyms where like Libby doesn't always have to be there. Everybody has key cards and you go in and it's a great gym. Like it's so nice. So yeah, it was a good time, but really let's get to the
unique item of today's show.
Although this is your
Christmas
Monday,
present.
I want to cheer you up.
I'm excited.
Just everybody, hold on a second. I had to practice
For the
this in the
listening
mirror.
Audience.
Hold on,
I'm making an adjustment.
Yeah. Okay, and you have to tell me if it turns on.
Oh, she has a light up
Thank
Alabama
you, Mama.
hat.
This was
a
one of
snow
my Christmas
beanie
presents.
with lights on it.
Yes, because
I love
Alabama
it.
won the playoffs.
Yes, they did.
And we are headed to the
Another
national championship. I know our listeners are so tired of me talking about Alabama, but this comes
sure
along with
some
it.
Roll Tide fans out there.
Then maybe.
And your parents.
I know my parents are listening, and they're roll tiding
Yes.
all day, and we're all getting ready for Monday. It's the national championship. Are the lights still on? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
they're on.
Are they on? And so, by the way, you're coming to my house on Monday.
I know.
You and the fam.
Yes, I'm excited because you won't watch the Alabama games
No.
at my house because it was their one loss was at my house.
Yeah.
So she won't come
Bad game
to our
mojo
house
won't do
anymore,
it.
So.
No. So my mom got me this hat. She actually asked me if I was
love
going to
it.
wear it today, which of course.
Of course you are.
Well, Hello.
Absolutely.
I sent you this picture on Christmas
I know.
morning
At
my parents' house when I opened it.
awesome.
Yeah. So I won't do this the whole show. I promise.
I
I'll
think
turn
you
it off.
should.
Oh,
It's very festive.
would you like me to just leave this on? I
Yeah,
will.
would.
You know what? I'm going to. So yeah, that was my highlight. That Kella and I were just talking right before the show started. Like, I forgot New Year's Eve was New Year's Eve because all I cared about was the playoffs.
You were focused.
Just focused, and then I didn't even watch the ball drop.
Oh,
I've never not watched the ball drop. Never.
that's sad.
And
well,
I didn't care.
you can watch it on YouTube.
I kept forgetting. Oh, I did. I watched the highlight the next morning. So yeah, but it was a great vacation. And then I still
that's
have
so
a couple
great.
days left.
Well, and this is the January 6th recording. Hello, what comes tomorrow, April?
Oh, I was getting there. Tomorrow is the day. It's the delivery of the mini donkeys.
It's the donkey delivery day.
Donkey delivery day. So you two get
You'll have to
ready
take a
because
clip.
next week the pictures you're gonna get. Okay. So and Pete and Pistol are coming between 10:30 tomorrow morning. I confirmed
that's so
with the delivery
exciting.
yesterday.
The stork is coming.
Yes, and they already got Christmas presents. Pete and Pistol, they got some halters with their nameplates on them for Pete and Pistol. And they have nameplates for their stalls. And we already have hoof cleaners. They have a big toy. I'm going to go to Big R later today because I'm still on vacation.
Yeah,
I have
that's
said that a few times. And I'm going to go buy them some more toys and
I
a toy
love it.
bin. Yeah, because what they're used to is they can go get toys out of a toy bin.
They hit the lottery.
Yeah, well, they're
coming to
used
your
to it at
house.
the. So
I know.
have
I
to
know. It
provide
is
it.
so exciting. I'm excited to come over.
Do you
and see
know
them.
what I'm going to be doing most of the day tomorrow?
I think you're going to live in the barn.
Yes,
I think you're going to have a cot there.
Well, at Big R, I'm going to try to look for a rocking chair.
Yes.
And I'm going to take a comfy blanket down there.
Your mermaid blanket that I got you.
Yeah,
Hello.
there you go.
There you go.
And I'm going to sit there and I'm going to
That's
watch
so
my donkeys.
fun.
They're going to be sick of me. So it's very exciting.
I'm so
tomorrow,
happy for you.
Today I woke up, I looked at my husband, I'm like, one more sleep. And he's like,
oh.
oh my God.
I'm actually excited for David because this has been coming for so many years that I think he's going to see you a level of happy that he's never seen. Which will be, I think, gratifying because he made it happen. I mean, he finally gave you this blessing and
He did. Well, it's up there with the birth of my child.
Totally. I know.
I mean, not real. I mean, it is actually.
It is.
That's actually. So you know, I'm not. So I'm sure he's gonna be like, wow, this is. I mean, like I'm so excited.
We're excited for you.
Oh,
We're
we're going on.
to see the
Well,
pictures.
I mean, if you don't, it's after Friday. The big event is your birthday. That's going to be the focus. And then when you come over Monday, you can see the babies.
Having a birthday after Christmas, I say, is harder than having a birthday before because after everyone's like broke and partied out and kind of like just
Tired.
sad that everything's over. So everyone's very kind of like, oh, happy birthday.
Whatever. I'm not. Hey, listen. I told you we should go somewhere. I'm like, let's get out of town.
I know. So it'll be good.
It's gonna be so
low
fun.
key. Low key is definitely
Why
part
don't we do
of
something high
2022.
key? Who thinks in this room we
High
should do
key.
something high key for Shannon's birthday? I'm gonna
We'll
figure
see.
something out.
There's been,
High
whatever.
key can't be low
So.
key opposite. Whatever. I'm excited for your
But
birthday.
We're back at it. We're back at
here we are.
the studio, which we're so excited to be here. We love being here every week with
We
you
do.
guys. We have a new series that we're
Yes.
launching
I'm
today
excited
that we
about
talked about
this.
last show to get people ready.
Mhm.
So, instead of going the whole traditional New Year's resolutions, what you should be doing differently, which I kind of get sick of. Like, I don't know about you, but I have more exercise and fitness feeds in all of my social media that I'm like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Did you just real quick? Do you do New Year's resolutions?
Kind of. I mean, I really have tried not to over the years because I get so sick of them. And
Yeah.
but I did
I
have
don't.
one this year that was not so much a resolution, but more of like, I try to come up with like a word each year of like what I think that theme is going to be.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
so this year, I felt that word for me was all in.
Okay.
So like, what does it take to be all in 2022 in my relationships, in kind of my goals and what I'm trying to accomplish?
Yep.
So instead of a resolution, it's more of going, what are
that.
some things that have to go by the wayside? What are some things that I shouldn't do anymore or should do more of? And, to kind of tie into that
I
being
like
all
that.
in.
That's
So
really cool.
That's kind of a offshoot version.
I like that. I like that. I get tired of resolutions too.
so-
So I do a thing mentally. I don't make a list or
Yeah.
anything, but I have things mentally that are more like a vision for
Yeah.
the year
Yeah.
that I do. But
That's
I don't.
good.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to, I don't like making a resolution, then telling people, then you have people like after you all the time, like, how are you doing on that? Because they secretly, I don't
Well,
know if they
'cause
want you to
then
succeed or fail, but
if you look at it
it's
and you're
just
like,
too
I
much
failed.
pressure.
I tried and I failed. Thanks for asking.
I don't like
I know, I
pressure.
don't.
So I think that's why I don't do resolutions. But
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah.
So, I was going to mention, we were talking before the show started, as, I've kind of had a rough 24 hours. But what I was thinking of before I wanted to share why I'm having a rough 24 hours is one of the things that was all in that we've been working a long time, many years, my husband and I, to try to become completely debt-free other than our house, our primary house. Mm-hmm. So we have a rental property. We have some other complicated things. So it's not happened overnight. So this has been a long journey of lots of different things that have gone into it. So what's kind of funny is yesterday I paid off our last item, which was a car. So as of yesterday at 4:00, we were completely debt-free, other than our primary house. That's next on the list. But
congratulations.
But what's funny about that, every time, so I'm just going to share this with you because this might happen to you. Anytime you try to take ground and kind of get to the next level, I have found that you take that step and then you're attacked somehow. Mm-hmm. Like something happens to get you off track or get you discouraged or make you want to give up or what have you. So literally at 4:00 last night, we were debt free. At 6:15 last night, I flipping am driving that car I paid off, 2 hours ago. And I ran over something, totally blew out the tire, totally had to wait 2 hours this morning for a tow truck. And it's in the shop. And I was trying not to get discouraged. Sure. It was kind of a sleepless night because it's one of those things. Life happens. It's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. But the timing of it was very
in the moment. It's
intentional. I'm like, not today, devil, not today. Because really,
I know
within 2 hours of this victorious moment,
and then all of a
something
sudden
just comes out of nowhere.
Just
it
all
does.
over it.
Just
all over it. Yeah.
So I've been battling that this morning. But again, in those moments I've found, and they happen so often that they're not coincidence. I mean, they're meant to kind of,
Agreed.
get us off kilter, stop the momentum,
Well, I think it's there too. It's in that moment. Will it crush your gratitude?
Right.
That you just had 2 hours before. Right?
Totally.
I mean, it's not to say that you can't be like, oh man, it's okay.
Oh,
yes,
I know.
That's true. But does it ultimately crush your gratitude? Which
I know.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
No.
It doesn't.
You have done a huge thing to pay off.
For us, it was a huge thing. It was a huge goal. Because I really want more simplification in our life. I like simplification. I like the, whatever.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the funny story of the last 24 hours. So it's all good. It'll all be good. I have a great network of friends and that always are there to help me in my times of need. So I'm very thankful for that. So I'm excited to do big business today. The show's title is Big Business. Yep. As a business owner, and you guys are business owners too, I love focusing on this at the first of the year because so many people, especially now with COVID, I think maybe for the first time, are starting something on their own.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe restarting something that they've, gone dormant on for a while.
Yeah.
COVID has changed a lot about the business landscape and how predictable certain jobs can be or not.
Yeah.
And so we thought it would be helpful for the next few weeks to go through kind of what's a step-by-step list. What have we learned? Yeah. What have we wish we'd done differently? Because, my business is about 10 years old now.
Gosh, is it already 10 years?
I know. Maybe, about 10 years old. And so.
Yeah.
And Dave started his in 2009, didn't he?
Oh, so, yeah.
So even longer. So we have some good learnings. And we work with so many business clients that we get to see really a great vantage point of what has worked and what has not.
Yeah. Well,
so well.
Because I was looking through this last night and this morning, we're at by the end of it's obviously early 2022, but at the end of 2021, the employer applications were totaling $1.5 million. So 2021 broke the record for 2020, and 2020 was a record breaker. Mm-hmm. Then 2021, they forecasted by year end 1.5 million employer applications, which is 210,000 plus more than all of 2019 combined. So just in that, by the end of that quarter,
employer applications being like new company requests?
Startup. So either sole proprietorships or new employers that would be hiring employees. I mean, we're at unprecedented levels, which is why I'm so glad we're launching this new series, because this is more than relevant. I mean, this is
absolutely
so many people out there, even into 2020, which was a tough year because the pandemic hit, but it also for people through layoffs and furloughs or whatever, people having to shut things down. Now, even if they had to shut down a previous business, they're relaunching a new one.
Oh, it could be a side hustle. It could be, something not your, primary employment. It could be something small, that you just are passionate about, that you love to do, that you want to do on the side.
Well, and it's not surprising that the top, as far as, they put the top, like all of the different industries in the top 10 of the top, the one that was far surpassed all the others was the accommodation and food services industry, which is not surprising, right?
That's the top application?
Yes.
That's funny.
And I mean, the next one was retail trade, not surprising.
Everyone's trying to be the next DoorDash, I think.
The next Drizzly, the next DoorDash, the next online boutiques launched, online retail services launched because everybody was shopping online. They didn't want to be in person. Then, of course, like healthcare and social assistance was the third. But that's why I'm excited. That's why I'm excited we're doing this, because if you are listening and you have been considering this idea,
or know someone who is,
or maybe you've never thought of it, and just the fact that we're talking about it right now.
That's
my lights distracting? Did they turn off? I'll turn it off in a second.
It's not distracting. It's just happy.
Well, I knew you had a
because you're all serious, but then the lights on your hat keep going in different random order of like
listen
colors.
To me, people. Take me seriously. Right? Well, yeah, they have different things that they do. So sometimes they'll.
We should set them to music.
Oh, I know. But if you've never thought about it before, and now you are, there are some steps that I know you've got that we're going to go through over the next several weeks, things that you need to do to begin that process. But we encourage you to do it. I mean, now is the time.
And I wanted to kind of kick off with, here are the top 6 reasons why people start their own business. So different surveys out there, these seem to be the most consistent that we could find. So 49% of those surveyed wanted to start their own business to be more independent. That was certainly top of my list of why I started mine. I wanted to be my own boss, wanted to go when I wanted to go. And, you have to work hard. It's not that you get less hours, because it's actually more, but you are independent. You don't necessarily have someone just barking orders at you all the time or telling you when to be where or what to do. 43% start their own business for freedom and flexibility. So again, kind of goes with independent. 35% to have extra cash. So again, that's, I think, more of the side hustle. Because, I think a lot of these steps, you have to do them right and kind of go slow to ensure, I think, monetary success. Because a lot of businesses, and we'll look, the stat of businesses going out of business their first year in business is quite high.
Yeah, it is.
So there's a lot of things on our step-by-step list that we'll go through to hopefully help avoid that. 33% wanted to start one to share a creative passion. So I thought that was kind of cool. 28% saw an opportunity to fill a niche. Is it
niche
in the market?
Or niche?
I think it's niche.
What do you think, Kelly?
Which I found one this morning. I do believe that there is a better
First of all, don't say it right now. We could do this afterward. Don't share it. I'm just kidding.
The tow truck industry. There's definitely a lot of room in that industry to be better.
Let's go.
So get a couple guys, get a couple trucks. I'm just saying, I think we could blow that out of the water.
Okay.
And then finally, 24% wanted to, I'm trying to read my handwriting there. Hold on. I can't read what I wrote.
While you're doing that, do you think we could, we didn't wear the shirt.
They wanted to work from home.
Oh. Well, now that makes sense, though.
So
a lot of people feel more comfortable working from home now.
For starting a business, yeah.
Although a lot of companies now have chosen remote.
Well, especially with Omicron. They're like, I give up. Just work from home.
Just stay.
I don't know.
But it's also proven to be, they've been able
people
to cut the budget.
can still be productive. I've always been a firm believer, you hire the right people. It doesn't matter if they're in an office or working from home. They're going to work and do well.
Do you think we could get my husband to come in?
We should.
Let's do it.
Oh, we didn't wear our shirts.
That's what I was about to say. We didn't wear our shirts.
Well, next
today.
show, everyone's going to have to tune in because they're going to have to wear something.
We're going to wear something that you're
They came down over the holidays that our husbands did.
But it just, funny. Because he started his own business too, and so have you, and just two different perspectives.
Totally.
I wonder if we could get him on here.
That should be our goal.
My husband's a character. It could be good.
It'd be funny to see if he'd be nervous or anything. I bet he wouldn't be, but you never know.
No. They banter a lot though, so it'd actually be
My
fun
goal
to
would
get
be
you
to like
too.
make him nervous.
Oh yes, it would. And I would just sit back entertained the entire time.
Like siblings.
Yeah,
I know.
it is.
I know. So
anyways.
all right. So we're going to just kick off with the first step today.
Okay.
And that's obviously around this idea. So a lot of you who are looking into starting your own business, you have an idea. You have something, maybe you feel like it's a calling, or maybe you feel like it's a dream or something in your heart that's been there for a long time. That's a good place to start because you need to have passion. You have higher success to have a marketplace opportunity than a personal passion opportunity, but that passion has to be there because, if you're leaving some other job that maybe isn't fulfilling all of your hopes and dreams for something on your own, to have passion.
You better love it.
Yes. To have passion around it, to have more of a calling and a purpose around it will help you on a lot of the days and the years where it is scary because you're your own paycheck. You're your employee's paycheck. It's no more of this, kind of big brother, my check just shows up in my account. It's a lot more of a roller coaster ride.
There's a greater burden.
There's a lot of highs, but there are a lot of lows.
Yeah.
I can remember a lot of different times where I'm like, okay, if check doesn't come in the next 2 days, I don't know how we're going to make payroll kind of things.
Yeah.
And so it definitely is not for the faint of heart.
No.
So how do you, once you have this idea, how do you refine your idea? Because I think in the brainstorming stage, how can you do as much as possible to understand the why you're doing it, understand what the value is going to be, understand who your target audience is. Is there a real audience out there for it?
Yeah.
Libby, God bless her, in Butler, Alabama,
Yeah.
started this awesome gym. I wonder how market research went for her, when she's like,
well,
how many people are in Butler? How many people work out? How many people will come to a gym?
You know what? I'll Facebook message her. We should. I'll Facebook message Libby.
A fun business case. But the why, knowing why you're launching a business is so important because you have to find a need. You have to find your scope of business will always be larger if you are meeting a need in the marketplace. You might have a personal passion, but no one else or very few share that passion per se. So it's kind of matching or maybe even molding a little bit. So I've always had a passion for like life coaching and counseling and finance, but they've all been separate. But when I started my own business, I was like, that was
Combine
really mine, combining the two into one. Because there was an opportunity in finance to make it more approachable and interesting, but there was an opportunity to really make it personal with people. And there are a lot of firms that do this. Lighthouse isn't the only one, but we really take it personally. We really, look at each individual, spend time with them, care about them. The recent fires in Boulder, our office had to be evacuated. It was really crazy, but we were able to reach out to every single client we had. Do you need anything? What's the impact? How can we help you? And thankfully none of our staff or clients were impacted by the Marshall fire, but still it was just that level of dedication that I know makes Lighthouse unique.
Yeah.
And so that was important to me as I purchased business, as I started businesses, to make it really, because I'm passionate and people can tell whether you're not, because it leads to authenticity and integrity and all those things. So knowing the why is obviously really, really smart. Secondly, to make sure you know who your customer is going to be. Even when we launched the podcast, we were like, okay, we have this kind of world of a potential audience, but that's, with the sparkling light up hat,
who doesn't want to
might not be for everybody.
This. Yeah, but
because we like to have fun, we like to laugh, we don't take ourselves too seriously, and that might not be for everyone, but for our niche, which is
hold on. If sparkle hats that light up don't make you smile, I think there might be something wrong with you.
I agree.
You might think I'm weird. That's totally fine. You might think I'm a little bit of a wackadoo, but at least you smile over the lights.
Absolutely.
That's just me, maybe.
I agree. But, but it's, our audience tend to be more females, more of a certain, I think our age, what I love about this show is the age demographic is very wide. Yep. We have 20 somethings. Yep. listen to us. We have 70 somethings
70s.
listen to us.
Yep. My parents.
Well,
Oops,
I
sorry,
wasn't
Mom
going
and
to
Dad.
call them out, but
Whoops.
Anywho.
Come on.
But so we have a wide breadth of audience, but that's who we're targeting. That's who we go out to. That's who responds to us. So no, it's okay that you're not for everybody. You don't have to be all things to all people.
No.
Just know who you're for, though, and be all out for that.
Yeah.
And that will help a lot.
Yeah.
And then the third tip before we wrap up today's show is I am super passionate about this part because I've seen so many people fall flat on their face on this. They get super excited. They have an idea. They know who they're going after. They pick a name that they're super passionate about. And then they don't realize that if they don't do their due diligence and homework to see if that name is already trademarked, they'll go into the marketplace. They can even be really successful. And then they get a letter in the mail from some attorney about trademark infringement. And then they have to start completely over.
Yeah.
So, we're trying to start with the end in mind. So the third tip for today on this whole kind of refining the idea is if you have a name that you are passionate about, do a couple things. You can do a search on your state Secretary of State's website. You can do also, you need the legal rights to that name in your state and for your industry. I also recommend it's a few $100s, but it's well spent to get a trademark attorney
You always
to
do that.
run a federal trademark search. Because it's just that important. The last thing you want when you're starting out is like some lawsuit.
No.
You're in
Or to
trademark
have to
infringement.
rebrand. That is
Or have
not
to
cheap.
rebrand. And what's interesting is in the whole trademark world, you get some latitude where you can pick a name that someone else uses if it's in a unique industry. So an example is like Dove. There's Dove soap and there's Dove chocolate. And it's not the same company because they're different industries. So even though you love this name and you feel called to this name, it could be specific to your industry. So it's you have to do this at the beginning.
Okay.
Because some people just assume that if it's an available domain name, like a website's available or what have you, that it's it's available. But that is not.
It's a good little tidbit.
It is definitely, and it's one of the most important. And it's so funny, when I purchased Lighthouse, that was my first question to the owner who had owned it for 35 years. And they're like, what? I was like, great. So we started there.
Yeah.
But it's just so important because I think a lot of business owners out there, even if you're in operation, you might not know it, but get that trademark. Because when you have that federal trademark, no one can infringe, no one can confuse. Because what can also happen is if you own the trademark and someone else is kind of using your name out there, and maybe they have a bad reputation, maybe their customer service
we've
is
seen
awful.
that happen to companies before.
We've seen that happen to several customers of ours, clients of ours, and they were able then to legally shut down those kind of black marks on their name. That it wasn't even them. So that is probably one of the most critical pieces that people overlook. I know. It's in the first category.
Like, that needs to be at the top of the list
that people don't always think about.
Yeah.
So as we go into future shows, we're going to talk about how to write a business plan, what to think about when you're writing a plan. A business plan does not have to be this encyclopedia to get going. I think people get overwhelmed.
Some people stop there. They're like,
no. So I'm a fan of, you don't necessarily have to write everything out because you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants sometimes. Things change constantly, but you have a general concept, some organization, some strategy around it.
Right.
Determining your legal structure. We'll go over that. How do you want to be taxed? Why does it matter? How is it going to impact you financially? Or how do you want to limit your liability? So if you make a mistake, someone can't come take your house.
Right.
These things matter. What insurance policies do you need? That's not the funnest part, but the most it's very important.
But it's a must.
How do you build your team? How do you build your vendors? How do you brand and advertise? And how do you grow? These sorts of things, they don't have to be intimidating.
No.
And these steps don't have to last, 2 years either.
Right.
You can have something you're passionate about. And the more time you spend on the upfront, the more impactful and easier the first 3 years goes. I think personally, starting a business and now buying other businesses, that first 3 years, something happens at that 3-year mark where it takes 3 years of really due diligence, of really nose to the grindstone, don't give up, don't get discouraged because there's so many obstacles seen and unseen that come after you those first 3 years. But
and
it's
be willing
so
to be
worth it on the
flexible.
other side.
But and be willing to be
Yes.
flexible in those 3 years. Things are going to come your way that you may need to course correct a bit, or like you become more. You may have to adapt to something you weren't prepared for.
Absolutely.
And that's okay. Don't let that.
That'll actually make you more successful in the
Absolutely.
long run.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to spend the next few weeks on. Before we find Coffee Talk, I wanted to, we're going to make a little bit of shift here also, because I don't think I've done a very good job in the past shows, that if there are people out there that want help, come to us. Copytalkpodcast.com is the first step. There's a contact us button on there, and that goes directly to April and I. So if you need business consulting, if you need financial management help through Lighthouse Financial, I'll get you there. Like, we'll get you to whichever entity you need help with, because we want to be that resource for you. We don't expect you to do this all on your own. You might have local resources. Great. Use them. But if you don't, we can help you and find those right next steps, because we've often talked on the show, it's that next step that's the most intimidating. So however we can help make that easier, that's what we're here for. That's why we're doing this. This is why we started this,
We do have fun together, but that's not the only reason
why.
Thursday.
Exactly. Yeah. So before your hat turns off for the day.
I know. I mean, does it? Does it
No,
though?
it really doesn't.
I could go.
I think you should totally go to Big R like that.
Yeah, don't put it past me. Typically, I am in my Carhartt gear for Big R. I have to fit the...
You have to like dress for the role.
Yeah. Well, my son got me a Carhartt sweatshirt for specifically for donkey care.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to be all
that's lovely.
Carhartted up. I got overalls and everything. But yes, where to find us?
Where to find us?
So you just spoke of our website, copytalkpodcast.com. You can find us on Instagram, Copytalk Podcast. Send us a message. What's our hashtag going to be today? You pick it. You always pick it. I like it when you pick our hashtag.
Oh, your 2022 word.
There you go.
For people especially who hate resolutions like me, pick a word.
Yeah, just pick a word.
Yeah.
And then, of course, our favorite
What you want the theme to be.
Yeah, our favorite is...
You're getting better at that.
So good at that now. Is YouTube. Please subscribe.
Yes.
Share with your friends.
Share with your friends. Our organization, our network, whatever it's called, whatever. Reach is growing because of you. So please continue
to send that out, and then
appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
See you next week. Happy New Year, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
This is intended for informational purposes only and not to be used as a primary basis for investment decisions. Consult your financial professional before making investment decisions. Shannon Ross is a registered representative and MBA of Lighthouse Financial. Lighthouse Financial offers securities and advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisories Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. Shannon is CEO and managing financial partner of Lighthouse Financial. Cambridge and Lighthouse Financial are not affiliated.